first stop was Georgetown, where we toured the famous Hotel de Paris, which was built in 1890 and featured steam heat and hot and cold running water in each room. The Devil's Gate High Bridge allows the train to gain the 640-foot elevation difference between Georgetown and Silver Plume. Although the two towns are only 2 miles apart, it takes 4 miles of track with horseshoe curves, 4% grades, and 4 bridges over Clear Creek. But before we board the train for our ride, we have to see how the gunfight turns out between the Marshals and the train robbers.
Head down! You shot me in the butt! Come out! Hey! Come out! Hey! Ow! Stop shooting! Don't let him get to the thing! I'm trying to train with a friend! Hey, I'm out! I got these people with a friend! Yeah, you...
Glen Erie is a Tudor-style castle built in 1871 by General William Jackson Palmer, founder of Colorado Springs and also Durango. He was also the founder of the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad. The Royal Gorge Route was established in 1879 and runs along the Arkansas River, which cuts the 1,000-foot granite cliffs of Royal Gorge.
It was built because of a bet between two men riding in a train. The train had stopped on the Yankee Bridge, much like World on the way back down. And one looked up and said, I bet you can't build a bridge across that.
Kind of a snowplow built in there. The Rio Grande Scenic Railroad started in 1876 and crosses the 9,300-foot high Veta Pass, the world's highest rail crossing at that time, and still the highest standard gauge railroad crossing in the country. We coupled our train to an engine that was being moved to the other end of the line, and the conductor then invited some of us into the engine. We walked alongside two of the huge engines and sat in the engineer's seat. Cumbres and Toltec considers itself a museum and allows visitors to roam the grounds and see the rolling stock, including this rotary snowplow. An engineer also showed us two passenger cars being completely rebuilt by a master carpenter.
Slow here just to make sure it's possible for taking care of the railroad 10 miles each way or so. And so
Though we didn't ride the entire route, we did see the two namesake locations, Toltec Gorge and Cumbres Pass, which is elevation 10,022 feet. Coming to Cumbres Pass, we will be getting off. Catch our... There we go.
Oh my gosh.
The Durango and Silverton has been in constant operation since 1882, traveling from Durango's 6,512 feet elevation to Silverton's 9,305 feet, and it's been named a historic engineering landmark by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Much of the route is alongside the lovely Animas River. The $1 Million Highway is US 550 through the San Juan Mountains between Silverton and Ouray and goes over 3 passes, the highest being Red Mountain Pass at 11,018 feet. Legends say that the name might refer to the cost of building every mile of it in the 1920s, or that its fill dirt contains $1 million in gold ore. Back in 2001, for 5 days I drove my Nissan Xterra on the Alpine Loop up high in the San Juan Mountains with about 50 other Xterra owners. So this drive is a nostalgic deja vu experience for me.
That's it. So when they built this, they would actually hang off of the top of the ropes, swing into the side of the mountainside and drill into the side, pack their dynamite in, and then climb as fast as they could after they let it use.
The boarding house for the miners to live in. So that boarding house was there until after the Silver Scare and these mines shut down. And then that was torn down and moved down into town piece by piece. And they built a hotel down there out of it called the Abrams Hotel.
The Rio Grande Southern Railway had a U.S. mail contract and also a few passengers to carry, but it was too costly to run a complete steam train just for that. So the Galloping Goose was created using a 1931 Buick sedan body. This is a replica of that goose. A total of 7 Galloping Geese were eventually put into service. A special joy of this trip was our leaders. Steve, 19 years a railroad engineer for Santa Fe and also author, photographer, railroad historian, and superb storyteller. And Victor, our efficient, cautious, always smiling bus driver. and PJ, our leader, organized, efficient, considerate, always one step ahead of the problem that might arise. Thank you to all of you.